Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is May 12th, 2026. And today we're going to talk about another crazy financial figure that we saw during El Clasico match, or after a Clasico match, I should say. Also, that team was back in training today. And of course, we do have Hansi Flick's pre-match press conference. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. We'll begin this video with some great financial news because of course during yesterday's podcast, I told you about the financial record that Barcelona set during the Clasico match where they made 16.2 million euros from ticketing alone. That's not including food and beverages and everything else. Ticketing alone, Barcelona made 16.2 million euros, an incredible figure for just one day, or for 90 minutes, I should say. And even more incredible when you take into consideration that the stadium is only at 60% capacity. So you can only imagine how much more money that stadium is going to make once it's at its full capacity of 105,000 people. But now we got to talk about another crazy figure from El Clasico, and it's regarding, well, our amazing sponsorship with Spotify, because as you know by now, every El Clasico match since we signed with Spotify, we replace the Spotify logo with an artist's logo for that specific match, and Barcelona sell those kits, that special edition kits, I should say. And of course, this time it was the turn of Olivia Rodrigo, who partnered up with Barcelona for this El Clasico match. And well, I am pleased to announce that Barcelona have made 25 million euros from merchandising from this deal with, or this collaboration, I should say, with Olivia Rodrigo as a result of this, again, amazing sponsorship with Spotify. 25 million. And that comes from all merchandising in general that had the Olivia Rodrigo logo on it, because it wasn't just the special edition kits. There was also t-shirts, hoodies, hats, etc., etc. But 25 million euros from merchandising, and of course, the 16.2 million euros from ticketing. Crazy amount of money from one day only. And I have to say, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I think the sponsorship with Spotify has been one of the best sponsorships in not just in the history of the club, but in all of football. I mean, to bring together the two biggest worlds of entertainment, music and football, all in once. I mean, it was an absolute win by Joan Laporta and the board of directors, and it continues to be an absolute win because, of course, Spotify have renewed with Barcelona. Now, speaking of El Clasico match, as you know, yesterday Barcelona celebrated winning La Liga and the Spanish Super Cup with the famous Rua, where the players were on a bus and they drove through the city. And there's a couple of pictures that went viral, and it's pissing a lot of people off in social media, even creating a debate on whether they should have done this or not. The first one was this of Lamine Yamal, who was handed a Barcelona kit that said on the back, "Thank God I'm not a Madridista," and he picked it up. He showed it to Cancelo. He was laughing. He was dancing. He was showing it to the cameras. And then there was a second picture, one of Fermin Lopez, who was handed a scarf that says anti-Madridista supporters or anti-Madridista supporters. And he too was, having a laugh, showing it to the cameras, showing it to his other teammates. And this, of course, has caused a lot of debates with a lot of snowflakes saying, no, the players shouldn't do this, blah, 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 blah. And look, guys, let's stop, okay? Let's stop finding reasons to complain about things on social media. Because do you seriously think this is offensive? There's something wrong with this? I mean, these shirts are not saying Madridistas are pieces of this, or Madridistas are effing this, or just saying anti-Madridista supporters and thank God I'm not a Madridista. I mean, come on. If that really offends you, my friend, you're going to struggle in life. But anyways, my question to you is, what do you guys think about these pictures? Do you think they're offensive? Do you think players should or shouldn't do this? Drop a comment down below. I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts. Anyways, now that the celebration is over, the team was back in practice because, of course, we are La Liga champions. But the league is not over, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, we have 3 matches left, with one of them being tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Players didn't even get to celebrate that much because they were back in training today because tomorrow we do have to play against Alaves at their stadium. And after that, of course, we have one more home match on Sunday against Real Betis. And finally, a match next Saturday against Palencia at their stadium. So we have 2 away matches left and 1 at home. But first, of course, we have to face off against Alaves tomorrow. And the team was back in training today, where they were spotted, having a light training because, of course, as you can imagine, many of these players went super hard yesterday. I'm sure a lot of them were even hungover. So the training actually started late, and it was more of a light training. And, of course, tomorrow back at it, playing against Alaves, where it's expected that there will be rotations, understandably so, given that, well, many of these players gave it their all in the Clasico match only 2 days ago. Now, even though we are champions, our coach, ladies and gentlemen, is insatiable because winning La Liga is not enough for him. And instead, he has set a new goal. And that goal now is to reach 100 points. And to do that, we have to win the 3 remaining matches and play well. That says everything you need to know about Hans-Dieter Flick, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is a winner through and through because, look, we won La Liga, we won the Spanish Super. The season's over. He could have been like, let's just chill, take it easy. There's a World Cup in a few weeks. He's like, nope, I want the 100 points. And these players, by the way, a lot of them saying in interviews after Clasico, we want 100 points. So it's not just Hansi, it's also the players who want the 100 points because this is what this team is like, a winning team through and through. And they want 100 points. And, of course, in doing so, if they achieve these 100 points, they would be making history because only 3 teams have scored 100 points in the history of La Liga. Jose Mourinho, back in the 2011-2012 season. Right after was Tita Villanova's Barca. And that's it. In 100 years, that's it. Just 2 teams. So, of course, if Flick's Barca achieve that, they would be the 3rd team. So Flick and the players wanting to make history. Now, Flick was asked about his contract renewal. Of course, I told you yesterday during the podcast how pretty much Barcelona considered the contract renewal done after meeting with Pini Zahavi. And this is what Flick said when asked about his contract renewal. Has this been announced? I'm sorry, but I've had a lot on my mind. I'm very grateful to the club for the opportunity to coach until 2028. The club has the right to terminate it, and so do I. We'll discuss that optional year later. In recent days, it's become clear to me that I'm in the right place. Now it's time to keep winning and try again to win the Champions League. I'm very grateful to the club for their confidence. So Flick pretty much confirming, yes, he is renewing until 2028. And of course, there will be an optional year that, well, both parties will sit down when the time comes and discuss on whether making that optional year a fixed one. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have Flick for 2 more seasons, which have possibly 3 more seasons, which, of course, fills my heart with joy because, as I explained during the podcast, not only is this good news because Flick is staying, Flick who has transformed our team into a winning team, but also that signals stability, and that's great for the players themselves because players flourish in stability, not having to think, oh, who's going to be our next coach? And also, of course, that sends a message for players who might be considering coming. Welcome. We're a stable club as opposed to, that other club that's an absolute mess. And finally, Hansi Flick was asked about the future of 3 players: Robert Lewandowski, whose contract expires at the end of June; Marcus Rashford, whose loan expires also at the end of June; and then, of course, Alejandro Balde, because he has lost his starting position to Joao Cancelo. And there's also been a lot of talk about, maybe Barcelona hearing offers for him. Well, this is what Flick had to say about all 3 players. In regards to Lewy and Rashford, Flick said, I value them a lot. I'm very grateful to them, but we have to analyze everything and we'll see at the end of the season. In regards to Balde, he's improved a lot. He's taken a step forward, but I've told him he still needs to take another step and we're helping him. That's what I ask of him, to improve day by day. He's a great player. So in regards to Lewy and Rashford, Flick saying, still got to analyze the situation. Of course, as you know by now, Flick is set to meet with Deco to finalize the plans for next season and for the summer. Of course, Flick even addressed that, saying that, yeah, he's talked to Deco, but that the plans are not final. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of meetings to decide who goes, who comes, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll find out more about Lewy and Rashford. And, of course, as far as Balde, Flick admitting, hey, he's improved, but he's still not there yet. So, Balde, if you want to become a starter again, my friend, you need to step it up. You need to step it up. Your position is no longer guaranteed. In fact, you have lost it to Joao Cancelo, who, as I mentioned in yesterday's podcast, has won 5 leagues, 5 Europe's top leagues. Absolutely amazing. Anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be doing another video, uploading another video shortly with some crazy statements from Florentino Perez because, ladies and gentlemen, Real Madrid are imploding. So I'll see you guys in that video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.